And now what we have seen is we met Nastasja in Zagreb. We were invited to a festival, and when we are visiting a festival, our aim is not just to watch the performances, but also to get the chance to meet the artists as well, especially if we are talking about young artists who you might never had the chance to see. And we were lucky enough to watch two presentations of it was the first BA
first
generation, yes, of the university, where we also met Nastasja, and we had a nice discussion, like in a small circle, and I was really, really deeply touched by the fact that this program is really young, that they have this education just like this. You started like 5 years ago or something like this. Four.
Yeah.
So it's a really young educational system which was established by an earlier ballerina. And what surprised me a lot deeply, that she invited 3 very important Croatian artists who are not even connected to the classical ballet, but much more to the contemporary art, which here would never happen, although we have a much older system in the dance education than now you have. And I was really touched by this fact that an earlier ballerina asked 3 established choreographers to find out the system about the education. And actually this was also a premiere for me to watch the show, because usually we never invite pieces which we didn't have the chance to see live. But I was so much into Nastasja's word, what she is creating, that I immediately asked her to send something if she has anything, and then I was absolutely sure that I would love to present her. And on this point I would like to hand over the microphone to Anita and continue the discussion.
Hello. Hello.
Szóval zene és mozgás, hogy neked van egy zenész diplomád a Zágrábi Zeneakadémiáról, a Brácsa szakról, és hogy tudomásom szerint rendkívül sokat zenéltél különböző együttesekben, ehhez képest létezik még ez a másik világ is, amely aztán így szépen összeolvad a kettő egyé, a te világoddá. Mesélnél egy picit a zenész létről?
So, music and movement, right? So, as far as I know, you are a professionally trained viola player at the Zagreb Music Academy, and at the same time, you are a professionally trained dancer. So, in this piece, these two worlds meet. Can you please tell us something about the life of a musician?
Well, in this period of my life, I can tell you more about life of a dancer, because I don't have a lot of time to, unfortunately, to practice viola. But well, after my graduation at the music academy, I immediately started to at the dance academy. So I finished that in June last year. And this last actually season was my first professional season, so I can maybe talk more about dancing in Croatian situation, but I will say that it's harder to be dancer than musician a bit.
But why, maybe?
Well, not because it's hard art is hard in general, because you need to practice every day. But I think that in Croatia there are more opportunities for musicians, because you have a form orchestra where you can work, and there is, we can say, a lot of people. But you have just 2 professional dance ensembles or companies. There are like few dancers, so there's a lot of chance to work if you want to work in a company. But if you're a freelancer, it's also not so good, but we are doing what we can do.
Ti mióta dolgoztok egymással? mióta ismeritek egymást, mert azt feltételezem, én, aki a táncvilágon kívülről érkezem, hogy ahhoz, hogy egy ilyen előadás létrejöjjön, kell egyféle közös nyelv, harmónia.
So for how much time do you know each other, or how long have you been working together? Because if I think about the performance, doing and stuff like that, probably requires some harmony.
Yeah, sure. Well, we met when Nastasja started studying dance. I have luck to be employed there on the academy as a accompanist for contemporary modern dance. So we know each other from the classes, and I was really happy when Nastasja invited me to work with her on her piece. And these instruments are part of the instruments which I use on my classes. Most of them are percussion, but I try to surprise myself like the dancers, so it is music would be like maybe more interesting, you know, because we watch each other every day, and I try to make it interesting. You know? Yeah.
Azok a hangok, amiket hallottunk a szerkezetből megérkezni, azok, ha jól értettem, ha jól éreztem, részben brácsa hangok voltak. Ezek a saját játékod hangjai-e vajon?
So those sounds that we heard coming out from here are probably the sounds of your viola, played by yourself.
Yes, actually we first recorded these sounds, and then he put that in a computer, and he's improvising on MIDI controller with my sounds, and I translated that into the movement, so I improvise with my body also that sounds. But we wanted to also to play together the instruments on stage, so I use it at the beginning and at the end. We didn't have a lot of time to make something more than this. Actually, it's 30 minutes originally, but we made it shorter for this occasion. But we could make it, you know, for 45 minutes or 50, but it was too much because that was my final piece at the academy, and we have like limitation. So we put actually out a lot of things.
Miért volt az fontos, hogy a hangszer hangjai, tehát mondjuk természetes hangok, és hogy az elektronika összekeveredjen? Ez egy jó játék, azt hiszem. De valahol az, amikor az előadás végén a hangszer hangjai és az eszköz hangjai, nem tudom ezt pontosan minek hívják ezt az eszközt, de hogy az egy nagyon különleges pillanat, a két világ találkozása.
So why was it of importance for you to mix the sounds of the viola with the sounds, the electronic sounds? So why? And I think at the end of the piece, when the viola was played again, like acoustically, it was a magical moment of two worlds coming together.
Well, I think the pieces was Nastasja's pieces I watched and which I was in. They are the theme is like some stereotypes of in music, but not in banal way to ironize something or something like that, but to explore the nature of maybe movement of musicians, you know. So she played it while the people were sitting, and then she put it away. and until the end, I was like her surrogate or something like that, you know.
Well, for me, why I decided to use electronic instruments, because I wanted to move freely. When viola is with me, that can be also a good theme for research, but that will be, I hope, the theme of my next piece. But I wanted to, we will say, more dance. So I decided, okay, I'll put it away, but still I want to use the sound that I actually reproduced. So that because of that, I used electronic equipment.
Ezen a ponton kíváncsiak vagyunk, hogy van-e kérdésetek, szeretnétek-e kérdezni? Do you have any question?
Are you improvising in the dancing, or is it choreo? Most of that.
It's a structured improvisation, 80%, and 20% is fixed material.
Maybe I'd rather have a comment or a feedback than a question, and that's my question. But I just wanted to say that one can tell that you play the viola. It's really obvious that you play it very well. And once you started to dance, for me it was like that you're still playing music. So for me your dance wasn't really just a visual, aesthetical experience, but it was rather an auditive thing that I saw the music in your dance.
Thank you.
It was really nice that somehow you didn't separated yourself from the instrument, but you said that you wanted to be free, but you were not without the music somehow.
Yes, but I'm free because I don't have this object, but I think that when you're a musician, it's normal for you to make the music of your dance somehow, because it's in your body. So, yeah.
So it was very nice. Really.
Thank you.
From my part, also a comment, I think, to you that it was really interesting that at first you were playing the viola, and it means that the music is coming from you, and after you used the sounds of your playing viola, so it was like you are dancing the same thing which came from you playing viola before. So it was really a nice play during this, though it was even improvised by you, the composer. So it was really nice and a tricky little game between you, and it was really funny. Thank you.
Maybe I have a question. I mean, you're like we started it that you're a professionally trained musician as well as a professionally trained dancer. So how come? So which came first, and why when you did the one thing, how did you decide to do the other as well? So.
Well, first I started to dance at the age of when I was 5, but it was more like hobby. I never went in some school. It was officially school. And I started to play violin first when I was 8. So it was like, okay, that was because I started with in elementary school, then high school, then I decided I want to go on academy. But I still wanted to dance. I have a big break for 4 years when I was in high school because I didn't have time to dance. So I started when I started with the music academy. And actually, I started with contemporary dance on dance academy. I didn't dance it before. I danced more jazz, something like that. And actually, how my education academy was going, like until the end, I realized that I don't want to be on a stage as a classical viola player or sit in the orchestra. I'm more interested in education. But I wanted to connect somehow these two fields. So when I passed the audition, I was very happy because of course I wanted to learn more about contemporary dance and technique, but my intention from the first year was to connect that somehow. And I started to do it from my second year and until now. So I think it was somehow natural. Yeah.
I want, sorry.
I have a question, but I can ask it later.
Okay. So I just wanted to say that I think it was an amazing performance. performance. I really enjoyed it, and both of you, I think it was a great collaboration. And back to the subject of improvisation, I'm curious, like, what kind of score did you use? Because it felt very precise, like it didn't always, or didn't feel like an improvisation. So like did you give yourself like specific small tasks, like to make small movements from time to time and to stop? You know, like I'm curious about the scores you used.
Well, I actually, when I was doing the research, not like movement research, but maybe more reading, more thinking, I chose 7 movements that are like usual movements of playing viola, and then I started to research how I can translate that into my body. So I have actually 7 elements, and I play with that 7 elements and with all parts of my body. And I wanted to have this contrast between big and small. It's like a fourth or piano in music. So yeah, it's very structured. I use, so maybe some things are repeating during the performance, but I don't have like this movement, this movement, or this. I have more quality of movement. Do you want to say something? You can if you want.
I want him to say something. So it's a purely technical question. Could you please explain what exactly you have been using here, so that we all know what these things are?
Well, it is kind of a modern MIDI controller. It's like a fancy. It looks fancy, but it's basically like a MIDI, like a keyboard, you know.
Yeah, just sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Just to make it more precise, what is a MIDI controller?
That is a controller for computer sounds, and when you play, you can turn on the trumpet sound, and then you can play the synthetic trumpet, and you can turn the piano sound. And when you play it, you can record it, and then you can like print it as a sheet of notes, musical notes. It's a programming language, MIDI, you know. But instead of trumpet, I use Nastasja's sounds. It comes from computer, and the computer is connected to the speaker, and it's wireless. The battery was 100%, so everything was alright. Nothing went off. I'm happy because of it. So it's not complicated. It's just her sounds on the pads, like on drumming pads. Yeah.
And this thing?
These are also Nastasja sounds, but a bit like developed with some effects or something like that. And I use it mostly on the transition. Yeah.
This is also like a MIDI thing? Or
no, it's
like a player.
It's a sampler. You can record it like something vocally or something. You can record anything. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Do you have cues, movement cues?
Yes.
To which you react on?
Yes,
so
it
is.
is.
A communication between you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. There are not a lot of them, but there are. I know that somewhere near will be some cue, and it's not like in the orchestra. It's more for us to play, like playing some game or something. Yeah. Not that I will be punished if I don't make it on cue. Yeah.
One more question, like about the education in the university. Like, can you tell us something about the schedule in the dance
Which
academy?
one? Dance.
Yeah.
Well, we have like 3 departments. I was study for contemporary dancer, then we have contemporary dance teachers and ballet teachers, and schedule is full from morning. We started from 8:30 with ballet, but other generation they are starting from 9. And then we have a ballet class and then a contemporary class. It's like every day. And we had choreography, more choreography composition, history of dance. We have some somatic practices like Feldenkrais, and I already forgot. And we have some aspects of music. What do we? And the last year we have like 2 contemporary dance classes, like different one, and ballet, and we have to being on stage. So we like make 2 times a year we make pieces. So like stage practice or something like that. And we have a dramaturgy, we have a philosophy and dance. I think that I maybe forgot something, but yeah, but the most important is actually contemporary dance class, and yeah, we had an improvisation. But contemporary dance class and choreography is like the most important.
And who are the 3 choreographers who were asked to develop the program of
they are from Croatian. Petra Hraščanec, she finished SEED in Salzburg. Then Nikolina Pristaš, she has her own company, it's BED company. They're more collective, not only dancers, but they have like people, philosophers inside, and dramaturgists, and she's a choreographer and dancer. And Irma Merzo, she's also a dancer and choreographer. And Andrea Jelic, she is the main one. She's ex-ballerina, but she was teaching at Laban, but I think not maybe ballet, but history of dance, and that's our small team.
Nice. And am I right with, because I've been there too in Zagreb when we met, is it true that you, when you enter the school, I mean, you don't have to decide what you will be at the end? So
no, we don't have like.
I want to. So you don't have to decide. I want to be a choreographer, and then.
No, we don't have. Well, I decided that when I was going to audition that I want to go for contemporary dancer, but then we don't, because we're only bachelor degrees, so we are actually half of bachelor, half of master. Some subjects are more complicated. So they did like that because for now we don't have opportunity to have also master degree, but yeah, there's no like only for choreographers. If there's no any question, I want to thank you, Márta, a lot for inviting me here, because it's really important for us to go somewhere outside of Croatia to present our work, and especially because I'm just at the beginning, so I hope that after this, I will move more around Europe. And thank you for all the questions, and I hope that you were enjoying. Do you want to say something?
Thank you a lot.